All right, there is a lot to go over today, what with 3 shows in the past week, if not more. So we're doing this seat of our pants. No notes, almost sight unseen. Rapid fire. We're going to go through a lot of figures, unless I get rambly, which I may or may not do, because I'm Robo. Here's the rewind. Let's start things off with a toy line that I like to call Astrobots. Mostly because the line is called Astrobots. This is going to be a rough episode. The boys at Toy Forge, or Toy Notch, sent me an email this week saying, hey, it's been slow going the past few months, the past year or so, but we've got some new stuff up for pre-order, starting with Atlas, their big supervillain of the line. And I like this because you don't think bad guy right off the bat. First glance, it's white with some red, it's large, it's a bit heroic, but then you start looking at nitty-gritties, the details, and you realize, oh, okay. There's something evil going on here. It's the red eyes. That's dead giveaway. And I like that it has some size, some mass on Apollo, that it has a threatening presence. I get that same feeling, you know, with Megatron and Optimus Prime. For years I thought, well, they're the same size, but in more recent times I've realized that Megatron is slightly larger, which makes Optimus winning a less foregone conclusion. It adds some drama to the whole situation, and I go, is he gonna win? I don't know. That's a big badass. Oh, he won! Yay! Woo! But speaking of Apollo, they're also starting up a new sub-series called Astrobotics, where they take those main characters and give them some flair, give them some pizzazz, spruce them up a little bit, especially with the color scheme. But there's also some changes to the sculpt, some different parts and pieces, changes up the vibe, which Apollo has had some variants over the years, but this adds the helmet. It seems a bit more militaristic, I think. But militaristic in that sci-fi robot exoskeleton kind of way. You know what I mean. Both of these are up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store right now. Links are in the description. Something else that went up for pre-order this week is the Dasin model Earth Guardian. And I love it when companies come up with original characters that we have never seen before. It is a rare thing for an original concept to be made into plastic. You know what this is. Now, my only exposure to Dasin models is their Tom and Jerry. And it was pretty cool. It's the only Tom and Jerry that I've ever seen available in super articulated form, so I'm happy to have it. But just this past weekend, when I went to Phoebes' house to fly out to San Diego, he had the Dasin model Brave Star. I can't remember the name they used for it. And when I saw it beside the Ramen Toys version, I thought, ooh, that is small. It runs slightly Figma sized. You know how those are with other 1/12 scale lines where it's just kind of smaller and a bit skinnier and elongated a little bit? Bam! It's the exact same thing here, at least looking at the pictures. Now, I'm not saying it's a terrible Captain Planet, Earth Guardian or Earth Superman, as some of the pictures say, but I'm just forewarning you. I don't know the exact size here, but based on that Brave Star, this may run slightly small to other lines like Marvel Legends. But I also don't remember any other figure of this character in this style or form factor off the top of my head. So this may be our only chance at this guy. One only hopes for the Planeteers, at least, though, since they left that, they didn't even change the name when it comes to Planeteers. So maybe we can get the powers of dirt and breeze and liquid and What was the other? Oh, Flame and Love. I would love those, but the bad guys is where it's at when it comes to toys, right? I mean, just that wackiness. As always, if you go to 5K Toys in the description and see the price, that is the deposit. Don't look at it and think, oh, that's cheap as hell. Scroll down a little bit, look at the total price. It is $39.99. Moving into a few things that don't have pre-orders yet, our old buddy Eamon O'Donoghue has been busy as hell apparently, because all weekend I kept seeing figures he worked on. First up, Frazetta Icon Collectibles teased the Fire and Ice Necron, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch this movie again because I don't even remember this character. I know there's another good guy to add to the crew we already have, so, well, I guess it makes sense to do a bad guy. Throw something at Dark Wolf. Next is the Heroic Signatures Titan Comics Conan, and I'm talking about all these together because, once again, Eamon worked on all these, so there is a certain style. You can take all of these, throw them all in the same display, as far as I can tell, at least looking at pictures. I did see this Conan at San Diego last weekend, though, and it's looking good. Now, the Frazetta Girls, Frazetta Icon Collectibles Conan, I just finally got my overseas exclusive version today. That took 3 weeks on the water and in the air and on the ground, wherever. And I'm liking the look of it, but this is a bit more nostalgic, I think. Maybe it's a callback to the Marvel Comics look. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, but the one I have is Conan. The one I'm gonna get, which is this one, because I'm definitely getting this one, is also Conan. Because you can never have too many Conans, apparently. But then Icon Collectibles, there's a lot of Icon talk, isn't there? A lot of names with icons in them. But Icon Collectibles, John Carter of Mars was also announced this weekend, and look at that. More goodness. I'm less familiar with John Carter. In fact, I've only seen the most recent movie, and I liked it well enough. But then I looked at this and thought, boy, man, his hair isn't near as long. I guess with this body style, I'm so used to long hair that this threw me off. But then I quickly acclimated. I came around, I saw some covers, I did actual searching for pictures, and yes, this is a good looking John Carter. But I didn't do enough research to find out what the multi-legged green dog thing is called, but that's damn tempting too. John Carter, yes, will probably, but the other thing, the pet, oh, that's what I like in my toy line. Who's a good boy or girl? But I don't know. It could be either. Like I said, no pre-orders for any of these just yet that I've seen. It's been a crazy week after an even crazier week, so I'll let you know as soon as I know. LooseCollector also hit me up as soon as I got back from SDCC with an updated, or well, I guess another look at the digital render for the Crypt Dogman. Always killing it with this line. It's familiar designs and names, but it's his own spin, his own takes, and I'm loving that. So I'm gonna need Dogman to fight the Sasquatches, to fight the werewolves, and then some other upcoming things. We've seen Cthulhu, he's hinted at Frankenstein. Oh, buddy. And now I welcome you to the Hasbro segment of this rewind. Yes, Vives and I did talk about a lot of this last weekend during a live stream, but that was 2 hours. This is rapid fire. This is coming at you hot and fast. Plus, I like Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series, but we're gonna start with G.I.Joe Classified because I missed those reveals. I missed that panel completely. For render reveals, there is Steeler and Short Fuse, and I didn't understand the negativity. I didn't understand the outcry at first. So it makes sense to go, oh, we get those, but we don't get the vehicle, which we've always known is one of the drawbacks of upping the scale when it comes to a line like this. Yes, the 3 3/4 inch line had lots of vehicles because they could. They wouldn't be near as big. So going into it, I thought, well, it's just the characters, and it still is. I'm happy to get these characters, but man, it'd be nice to get all the vehicles too. It'd take up a lot of space. The Ghost Viper though, oh, I didn't even know this thing existed. Is it new? Is it old? I don't know. I don't care. I saw the pictures, I saw the figure in the booth and thought, oh, the glowing green shit all over them. So good. But I didn't realize until I got home and saw more pictures and actually watched their live stream recap that I didn't catch while I was out and about moving and shaking. And there's a lot more to this figure than I originally thought. I'm honestly having trouble choosing which head I would use if I were to only buy one of these. Now, there's always the option of swapping at intervals, you know, changing up the display a little bit. But there's also the option to say, to hell with it. I'm gonna buy 4 of them, display all 4. Because all of them are amazing looking. Not to mention the spirit hands and the power effects and the translucent green dog and a snake. This is weird, wacky, wild, big dumb fun. And that's my favorite kind of G.I. Joe offering. Next, they went through the figures that were already revealed, that were going up for pre-order, and we talked about these when they originally posted. There's Sci-Fi, and then there's Wetsuit, Grim Viper, who I like a lot more than I thought I was originally going to, because I've got Vipers. I don't need any more. Okay, maybe one. And then Mainframe. Those are all mainline releases. Standard, everywhere, regular price. But then there's the deluxe offering of Desert Scorpion with Scorpion. With the numbers, which makes me think robot, but it's actually very large organic scorpion, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. We were in the booth one day shooting the shit with Lenny, and he had said lots of people were suggesting animal packs, and yes, please. G.I. Joe kills it with the animal figures. A pack of scorpions or dogs, animals they already have with new parts to change things up, to make different breeds, new animals. Call it the zoo line, zoo classified, I don't care, because I just want to add more animals to the display. But until then, I'll keep buying the characters that come with animals. Because animals. The Pulse exclusive Steel Core Sentry with Defense Post is looking very Sentry-y and Defense Posty. And yes, I had to read that because I tried 6 times, couldn't put the words in the correct order until I finally looked down and just read it. In fact, I can't tell you what I just said. So here's the pictures. It's G.I. Joe. Links are in the description. I'm also going to read off the name-only reveals because 90 figures. I counted this whole list of what I'm talking about, 90 figures. So I can't remember all of them. Name-only reveals is Lifeline, Night Viper, Hit and Run, Big Lob, who I'm most excited about because, again, silly, fun, love it. And then Iceberg. Boy, they're really going in on the winter theme, huh? Then for a tease, there's this armor plate thing. Do I really have to explain how I wasn't a G.I. Joe kid again? So I missed a lot of stuff. I don't know a lot of the references. I just like a lot of the figures. They're good. By comparison, Hasbro went easy on the Star Wars Black Series reveals last weekend, but at the same time, I felt like most of them were completely needed. Hit them out of the park. Right off the bat at the Hasbro breakfast, they revealed the fall convention exclusive Mace Windu versus Darth Sidious. And yes, when I first looked at it, I thought, do I need another Mace Windu? I have the regular version. I think there was an updated photoreal version, a retro carded version, the Clone Wars version. I have an SH Figure Arts, which really doesn't count because we're talking about Hasbro here. But then I saw the facial expression, the new head, and thought, okay, I guess I do need another Mace Windu. That's how you get me. You put the expression, But it doesn't hurt too bad because I also really wanted this version of Sidious, of Palpatine. The 2 heads, the robes, the lightsaber, the spinning. Hey, that's a neat trick. I also need this Pulse exclusive Bespin Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. Now, I already said during the Cold Slither review that I passed on the SDCC Anakin and Obi-Wan set with the platforms because the platforms would probably go in a bin or a box somewhere and I wouldn't actually display it. So I'm going to wait for the singles. Here, I feel like there's going to be some way to wall mount the bases, the platforms. You can do anything with a hammer and nails or screws or a Dremel. We'll find out. But we've also been needing a new Bespin Luke forever. And this looks like exactly that. Will that finally fulfill that need? Fill that spot? That hole in our heart. I do believe they said Darth Vader was mostly reuse, at least in the body. They did add a wired cape for dynamic posing, though. So I guess I need another Darth Vader, too. All the old ones can hang out with the Mace Windows. While we're talking 2-packs, we'll go into at least my own personal roller coaster dip in all these reveals with the Pulse/Disney Anakin and Captain Rex 2-pack. They came right out and said, hey, these are figures that we already have, but we're going to put them in a 2-pack and offer them up again, which is okay. It's Anakin in his Clone Wars look, and it's Captain Rex in his welded together costume, or armor. Sorry, it's not a costume. That figure is outdated as all hell, and really so is most of the Anakin body, but they look good together. It's two main characters. I guess it doesn't hurt. It appeases Disney, gets something at the parks, gets some foot traffic there because they have a big problem of getting people through the gate. Yeah. But then next was one I've been wanting. Say what you will about the Acolyte, and it's the internet, so you will. But man, is Chimera awesome. Even I've come back around and thought, well, I don't want to watch the rest of the series, but I'll be damned, every time YouTube wants to show me the lightsaber scenes, I'm right there. Why am I doing this? This is a remote. I don't control my internet with a remote. I guess you could do it on TV, but no, click, 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 there I am. Just, that's awesome. I'm also glad that I never ordered the third-party kits, because all you needed was that EU Luke in the black, and then you order the robe and the gauntlet or the bracer and the helmet and the lightsaber, do some painting, and there you go. Nope, I don't have to do that now. I can just buy this, and it's awesome because it also has the alternate unmasked head and neck. Something I think I caught watching the show but I forgot all about is that when he's wearing the helmet, the neck goes black. And I don't know if that's a byproduct of going full dark side or just a design element. I guess it would look weird. Either way, this is a swappable neck, which I don't think we've seen in Black Series before. Swappable neck as in it's attached to the head, but it probably has a point of articulation up in there. It's just looser down at the bottom, so you could pop it. I guess we'll see. Or at least I'll see, because I'm definitely buying this. If you're passing on it, you do you. I'll do me. We'll all be happy. Maybe you'll be more pleased with your purchase of the Bounty Hunter Asajj Ventress, which I didn't know was a thing. I still need to go back and watch Clone Wars. I do really like this more tactical look for her, but something we've really needed for a good long time is an updated Jango Fett, because, oh man, that first one was a mess. And then they decided to reuse it more than a few times, and those figures were messes too. Our savior Bandai even failed to give us a good Jango Fett. Now, I know, SH Figure Arts is great and better in all aspects. No! That Jango may be better than the Black Series version, but it's still a shitty figure. It's clean, which is easy to fix, you can dirty it up, but it's also loose and skinny and doesn't quite fit with the rest of my collection for whatever reason. This looks fantastic. This looks like it's gonna make the main bad guy shelf in my Star Wars collection. Look at that Jango Fett. That's not wide and short and stout. Here is my handle. Now we did get long and windy with the Hasbro Marvel Legends reveals last week at San Diego Comic-Con, but again, that was a 2-hour live stream. We're doing this fast. We're going right through. I'm not going to stop and talk about some of my favorite reveals or anything. Right off the bat, they hit us with the Magic the Gathering crossover wave, and I don't know what to think of these. Or maybe I don't know the reason. I guess Hasbro has Magic, and they're doing some kind of company corporate synergy or something, and they're trying to drag Magic players into the action figure game or action figure collectors into the Magic game. But me, I just want the toys. I don't want to pay an extra $15 for a pretty box and a card. I also don't understand why Agent Anti-Venom, Mary Jane Iron Spider, and Battle Damaged Spider-Man is in this wave. Actually, I do. They're Spider-Man characters. They sell, so start the line with that. But with the higher price point, I'm being pickier and choosier, and my eyes are very, very focused on Man-Wolf. I'll probably skip the rest, but I'm getting this. It took me a minute to remember that we've gotten Man-Wolf in Marvel Legends before, but that was the sleeveless shirt and shorty shorts. This is the handbook version. And you know me and handbooks. Oh, baby, all over this one. And then I'll put the magic card in the spokes of my bike so I can make it sound like a motorcycle. At least for a short time, till it wears out. Unless magic cards are really durable, that would be pretty sweet. More motorcycle sound. And then they got into the X-Men 97 wave, and again, it's X-Men. This is steak and potatoes. I love it. And I loved X-Men 97. So I like the animated flourishes, the parts and pieces that are very smooth, that are very animation based. But man, I also wish, okay, that's me being very selfish, me wanting what I want. But I wish there was a bit more detailed so it'd be easier to integrate into a comic book display. Does that make sense? Take Morph, please. Morph is very lanky, and then when it comes to the jacket, it doesn't even have the full details to it, which again, I get it. It is X-Men 97, but just a little bit. Which I guess that would be an easy custom. Just find another jacket, put it on there. That would... Okay, you've talked me into it. But thank you, Hasbro, for waiting until after I did a Gyric custom with a head that looks almost exactly like this. You're welcome. When it comes to Emma Frost, we have a more realistic head from one of the previous White Queen releases. So maybe it's a head swap away. I'm sure the skin tones will match, but no, this looks good. I do like this. Taking away the articulation in the torso, again, is not the greatest, but it also maintains the integrity of her corset. Those are words I'd never thought I'd say out loud. I feel like I'm gonna need a few sunspots to make other characters in this costume. I'm really liking Jubilee. Now, at first I thought, okay, maybe this will be my shelf Jubilee, but she has the all black costume, which is okay, that's fine. Okay, again, X-Men 97. And the comics also had that same look, but I'm really liking the head with the sunglasses up, or well, the glasses up, and I'm liking the power effects. So there may be some swapping of parts between my figures. Logan also goes heavy with the animation style, which again is not a problem. That's just me venting. That's just me rambling. That's also me pre-ordering this. I can gripe, but this will go with the X-Men 97 stuff that I have. I absolutely love this cable though. Again, it's got some flat planes. It's got some simplicity to it. But Veeb suggested that I could use this in my Scooby-Doo display. In fact, I could use all the cartoonier looking X-Men 97 figures in my Scooby-Doo display. Done. I'm not feeling the Gambit and Rogue 2-pack though. I like Rogue. I wish some of the stuff was sculpted instead of just painted on, but they gave her a soft goods shirt and then left Remy shirtless, which wouldn't usually be a problem, but this is apparently a starting lineup body, and those starting lineup bodies are made skinnier and the articulation in the torso larger and heavier because they have rubber overlays. You take all that off and you have this. And I guess it works for what it is, but man, a pink sleeveless half shirt would have went a long way here. Now, I'm not saying that's accurate. It was a look from a different part of the cartoon and the comics, but still, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate, especially if you're sprucing the figure up, if you're making it look better. I feel like somebody's gonna buy a lot of pink material and make a mint on the third-party market. And that would make me go back and buy this, because hey, why not? Continuing with X-Men 97, there is the Storm and Wolverine 2-pack, and there is this Storm in a 2-pack again, with a brown Wolverine that I really want, because the yellow and blue X-Men 97 Wolverine is one of the best Wolverines in the line. So making it brown and using that similar body is just going to be as good, I feel like. And apparently I need more first appearance Storms to go along with my Mace Windus and my Darth Vaders and everything else. But the 2-pack I'm all over is the Cyclops and Jean. I was talking about this just a few months ago, where you have a new Cyclops body. That original Cockrum look for Cyclops was in a Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack with Dark Phoenix. Hard to get, long gone. We needed an update. Oh, thank you, Hasbro. It does have that cartoon simplicity to it, but this will totally work in the comic display. Or at least that's where I'm going to use it. Some of these promo pictures do make it look a bit banana hammock, but the pictures from the booth is more shorty shorts. So, gotta raise the belt a little bit. Jean, I don't mind getting again because I've been planning to do the leg swap that a lot of people did with the first version to make those legs longer, more in scale with the rest of the figures. It looks like this does that. These look like different legs, right? Or am I just hoping for that? But there is different hair, different expressions. And I love the Marvel Girl look. I can't help it. Next was another one taken right off Robo's work in progress bench, the Target exclusive retro carded Outback Storm. And I'm happy to see this one because while I have a head that looks like Outback Storm, and I'll probably put on this, I was still considering getting another black costume Jim Lee Storm to Dremel off the details and add the lightning bolt and puffy sleeves, and I wasn't looking forward to sculpting. Now I don't have to, because here it is. They changed the torso, they changed the arms. Thank you, and again, you're welcome. Emperor Doom says exclusive, and I'm not really interested in this. I get it. Dr. Doom's gonna be a big thing for the next couple of years, so get all the Dooms out there, but one that is Sorcerer Supreme is cool looking, but I also don't think they said how the Star Fox and Champion of the Universe 2-pack would be released. I'm happy to see Star Fox. It's one of those classic characters that I've been wanting for a while, but I was afraid that it was troublesome because of the way he used to be in the comics. But I'm also really liking Champion of the Universe. He's big, he's buff, and like the chat in the live stream said last week, it's party in the back, vacancy in the front. Ample parking. Plenty of room. World War II Logan also caught me off guard. When you say that out loud, I think, meh, whatever. You show me this figure, and I'm all over it for whatever reason. It just looks great. Especially that unhelmeted head. That hair, oh, it's hot. When I got back, I was reading comments somewhere, and I remembered or was reminded that World War II Logan was on a leak list in a Build-A-Figure wave along with Christar's Warbow, who they showed next at the show, at the panel. Then we get to my personal favorite panel reveals, and Feral, they preempted by saying they weren't gonna tell us how this was gonna be released. So, is it a wave? Is it a multi-pack? I don't care. I'm getting a Feral, who, once again, is on my desk. I got a kit off eBay, and I was having trouble fitting the overlay onto the torso I wanted to use. But the head and the gloves were perfect. Goodbye, custom. And you're welcome. But then it happened. They were talking about finishing teams, and they showed the slide with Excalibur, and my heart went boop, boop. And then they showed Rachel Summers Phoenix. Got the spikes, have the energy wing things that she used a lot to just pick things up or pick things out. Oh man. Need it now. One little hint as to how this may be released is in the accessory, or the straight up looking vanilla posed and accessories beside it. There's a comic book right there. And we just got, well, maybe not just got, it's been recent that we got that semi-retro carded wave that came with the mini comic books. Is this another wave of those? Is this the start of that reveal? If I had one gripe, and I usually do when it comes to Excalibur because I'm so focused on the Alan Davis look, Rachel needs a mullet. Or at least that's my personal preference. So I may need to paint up another Rachel head using the sculpt that I did, because I did two of them already. One is on the Jean Grey Phoenix body with some third-party wings, and the other is the Hound suit that I just finished a few months back. You're welcome. But I do like the option of the Hound makeup, the power effect showing through. So yeah, I'm not gonna buy 2 of these. Finally, they finished the panel up with the made-to-order Mephisto. Like Dragon Man, like X-Men 97 Sentinel, they are putting this up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse for a month. If you order it within that month, you will get it when it's manufactured, when it ships out, sometime in the middle of next year. If you don't order it in the next month, you're shit out of luck. So if you want it, it's available. If you don't want it, pass on by. There is plenty of other toys out there. But if you're on the fence, go ahead and throw your pre-order in, because you do not pay until it ships, and you can cancel at any time. There's no risk here. And it's not like I'm trying to sell you on it. This is not a HasLab. They don't have to hit a certain number of units before this is produced and shipped out. This is getting made. This does seem to mostly be the same figure that was shown in the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider HasLab that failed a few years back. Something Vengeance, Engine of Vengeance, something like that. But there is some tweaks and there is some extras thrown in here. Well, I say extras for an $80 price tag. It seems, you know, you need more stuff, like an alternate head, a soft goods cape and loincloth so he can sit on his throne. And that's kind of neat with the big ass skull on the back that is very familiar. But again, I'd flip-flop on how to display it. Do I put it with that facing out and then Mephisto beside it? They do have a picture of him perched, like crouched down on top of it, and I think I like that the best. But there's also the option to turn around, have him sitting in it, doing whatever. It's up to you. Moving on to other shows. Overseas, there was ACGHK 2025, where Sentinel was showing off some new goodies. Looks like the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Miles G. Morales is getting an SV action figure. Did Figuarts tease this, or did they show this? And then I think there's a Legends version, but when it comes to Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, I really think Sentinel takes the top tier here, because I've tried all 3, or however many, MAFEX, Figuarts, Legends, maybe something else, and then Sentinel, SV action. And when it comes down to it, I like their figures the most. I haven't been getting all of them because of budget, but the ones I have are the ones I display over other companies' offerings. No, I don't own stock in Sentinel. I'm just telling you my own personal thoughts. That's my opinion. But Sentinel also showed off some new fighting armor figures, and they finally changed things up. Now, I know the basis of the line is to reuse the same body over and over and over with slight tweaks and color changes to represent different characters. That's been the point since the beginning. But now they're coming in with new form factors, like this big ass Hulkbuster that looks tough as all hell. Somebody's robbing the bank? Whew, take that, Hulkbuster. But they're also finally introducing female figures to the line, and you know what that means. Get ready for more female characters. Because just like the males, they can take this basic body, change the head, add some things to it, different gauntlets, paint scheme, and boom, they can make all kinds of people. Well, Ironheart is a no-brainer, right? I mean, she's a female character in armor already, but they also have Iron Man on the male side. So, hey, and War Machine, who is always wearing armor. But then there's also Mighty Thor and Captain Marvel, some heavy hitters. That's a great start to this side of the line. I'm sure we'll see some Spider-type characters and some X-type characters and whoever else they want to get to soon. Next, we'll move over to something that I don't quite know about, which, I mean, you're used to at this point, but I don't think I've ever taken a close look at Mess Toys. Apparently, they're making a lot of Spider-Mans. And the reason I'm talking about it now is because they got to Superior Spider-Man, and that may be my favorite modern iteration of the Spider-Man costume. The black, the messy webs, the eyes, the Waldos, it's just a spectacular design. Plus, that may be the last Spider-Man story arc that I ever read, and I loved it. So whenever I see one, I have to either talk about it and or get it, and I feel like I'm gonna get this. Now, without knowing a damn thing about Mess Toys, just looking at the pictures, I'm assuming this is kind of like CT Toys, where they're taking other companies' designs and sculpts and then either re-releasing or repainting or even tweaking things. Is that not right? And I've long lost track of CT Toys. And like I said, I've never looked closely at Mess Toys until now. But yes, it does look very Amazing Yamaguchi-ish. It's Reveltech-y to the joints, to the layout, to the proportions. But it also seems like they put a lot of work in to change that. Now, that's not excusing, you know, the appropriation of design work from another company, but adding the sculpted webs and the Waldos, is there an Amazing Yamaguchi figure with those, or are these original? What I'm trying to say is it's superior Spider-Man. I like it. I wanted to talk about it. Even the unmasked Peter Parker head has a slight sinister look to it. I don't know if it's the eyes looking out, the darker hair, something, but that works. And this works. And that works. And oh boy, does that work. Oh, I don't even know where to buy these or how to get them. Is this AliExpress? I guess when I know, you'll know. But you probably already know. So hopefully you'll let me know, and then I'll let you know, or you. We'll see. Hey, y'all want to talk about some MAFEX? Because there's a lot of MAFEX to talk about. First, we'll go through this month's pre-orders because they went straight into Marvel Comics and they gave us 3 offerings. Medicom, don't start doing 3 a month. It's hard enough with 2 a month at the moment with the occasional re-release. First, there's the Let There Be Carnage Venom, and oh, I told myself I'm perfectly happy with the Marvel Legends version, and even after quickly looking at these pictures, I thought, yep, I don't need this. And then I went to save the pictures to bring out here to look at, and I looked closer and saw the Eddie Brock faces sticking out, and the add-on parts, the weapons, and the shield, and the shininess, and it sure looks good. But the size and the accessories are reflected in the higher price point. I mean, damn, it comes with 6 heads. That's crazy for MAFEX. Next is Comic Book Punisher. And when they teased this a couple of weeks ago, I thought, I'm in. Look at that. Oh, that's a classic feeling Punisher. And then we got the full photo spread, and I'm not quite sure. And that may just be me. Is it the shoulders? Is it the way the torso cuts the skull? Because I feel like I like most everything about this figure, but then what I don't like and what kills it for me is right here, right in this general area. Then I look at the rest of the figure and I think maybe I do need this because I really like the heads. You have the "you're a criminal, you're gonna die," and then you have the "you're a criminal, you're gonna die." I couldn't even keep a straight face. Well, it's not a straight face. I was trying to do the same thing. And it looks like Medicom is completely off the take weapons away from your action figures horse because he comes with guns. Look at that. Yes. I love the color scheme. I love the design of the skull. I love that the gloves and boots are white. This is pretty much my Punisher, but there's something that just bugs the hell out of me. Or maybe it's because I want 3 of the Medicom MAFEX Marvel Comics X-Men Iceman figures. How long have we been waiting for this? An Iceman that looks this good with the angles and the facets to the body that looks like ice. One with an ice slide. Yes, Marvel Select, but this seems more size appropriate for the figure itself. But then power effects for the hands and shooting ice effects. This is what I've wanted. I would have been perfectly happy with the top head here without the other 2 if it meant the price could be slightly lower, because we're seeing a hike there with MAFEX figures. But I also like the gritting teeth. It shows some exertion. But then I was never into the flat top Bobby look. I know he looked like that at some point, just not my Iceman. Again, I can only speak for me. Against the white background, it looks very blue, which I don't have a problem with. But as we're about to see at the Medicom exhibition that also went on last weekend, he's even clearer in kind of that real life photography shot. It looks even more icy, less comic booky. So I don't know if it's a light thing or a background thing, but I'm not complaining about either look, whether it's blue or more crystal looking. But while we're looking at pictures from the Medicom exhibition, we might as well go through all the reveals there, and there were quite a few. I think we had seen Jubilee at some point, but I don't think she was this finished. And remember what I was saying about the X-Men 97 Jubilee, looking perfectly fine with the black bodysuit and such? Here she is in her more traditional classic costume. And I say it like that because Jubilee isn't exactly classic to a guy like me, but then I realized, oh, that was 35 years ago. Jesus. Something I missed the first few passes, though. I had to go through several photo shoots before I found the Medicom MAFEX Maverick. And look at that. I had this discussion with some good friends of mine, and I was like, yeah, they're showing a Maverick too. And they were like, the Marvel Legends is perfectly fine. And I thought, yes, it is. So much so that I bought another one at San Diego last week because it was $10. But there's a thickness here. It looks... I just want it. Sticking with comic books, there was also a painted version of Venom 2099. We saw this grayscale last year, I think. It looks even better painted. I don't know much about 2099. I've always liked Spider-Man's design from that series, that era, that time frame. And this looks like the perfect pairing to that. Apparently there's also a blue repaint of Venom. Now I know a lot of people have a problem with this figure's size. I like it. It's the one I display, and I like it in black. Seeing it in blue, it does look good in blue, doesn't it? God, no. Got to go with my Storms and my Darth Vaders and my Mace Windus. There was also this, Spider-Man Negative Zone, I think. I don't know the proper name for this. It's just a black and white costume, so it's tempting. I love that color scheme. Moving into the movies, I think they've shown the Black Panther T'Chaka before in some form or fashion. But man, I really like the look of this because the colors pop on that sash. Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine, appropriately sleeved and unmasked. Maybe, I guarantee in a year we'll see sleeveless and masked from MAFEX. Maybe, probably. But then there's also Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine, which we've gotten several times before from other companies. But this is Medicom. They like to wait a little bit. And here, I think the accessories are what really grabbed me. The swords, the TVA portal thingy, the gold guns, Wolverine's claws strapped to his forearms, Wolverine's adamantium bone to swing around, and dog pull. So, yeah, I feel like this will be a buy at some time in the future. Swinging from Marvel movies to DC, they were also showing Suicide Squad Peacemaker, Bloodsport, and Harley Quinn. Now, I can't remember if they've done this before. Have they shown these? It's hard to keep track, okay? Again, 90 figures, plus Medicom's just like... I'm guessing Harley Quinn is new because she is grayscale, but oh, Peacemaker is looking really, really good. I wonder if they would put him up for pre-order when season 2 of his show starts. And then surprisingly, they're doing a Joker. Is DC or Warner Brothers lightening up on that? Because it seems like they didn't want anybody making toys from that movie unless it was a certain price point. Oh no, is that what they're doing here? Are they jacking up the price? Is this base, the stairway, gonna come with this figure? Hey, for the low price of $325, you can get this staircase and a Joker figure. Don't tell anybody. When it comes to MAFEX DC, I lean more into the comic books, and here we're seeing a painted Batgirl. Again, I think we saw grayscale last year. Getting closer. There is a battle-damaged Batman and Ra's al Ghul 2-pack. Again, that was already on the list, but Ra's al Ghul being painted is looking sweet. Even sweeter is the Doomsday and battle-damaged Superman 2. Well, I'm calling these 2-packs, they're just placed together, facing off, so maybe they'll be separate releases. I don't know how they'll do it. That if Doomsday's separate, that is bought. If it's as good as their Bane, then yes, I need a Doomsday. We had already seen Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent, but I don't remember Clark doing the ripping open to reveal his costume look. But you know what gets me more excited than Doomsday? A MAFEX Lobo with dog. Seems to be a lot of Lobo news out there with movie casting and future appearances in the movies, so I guess it's time to make a MAFEX action figure, which makes me completely happy because this is my favorite look for this character. Star Wars pickings are a little bit lean, but I'll take what I can get these days. Although, am I gonna do it again? I'm pretty happy with the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Moff Gideon in armor, but I don't know, we'll see how the Medicom does whenever they release the MAFEX figure. The placard for this says something to the effect of Mandalorian Season 3 Bo-Katan. And looking at the figure I have on the shelf, and this prototype, grayscale, I don't know what the differences are. But I'm assuming this is new because it's not painted. Are there slight changes? I don't even remember what the difference was in the show. But you know what I'm working up to? This Bosk. Oh. The Black Series Bosk is another one of those that is perfectly fine, but it's showing its age, especially when you pick it up and move it around, which it still does okay. It's Bosk. He's supposed to have elongated looks to the arms and legs, and then dude wearing mask. But this just seems 100 times better than what I already have on the shelf. So much so that I'll probably, well, no, I've got extras of those Bosk because he had a retro card release or whatever that was called. I have an extra to make Boshek from the Cantina. That was always the plan. But the one I have on the shelf now will go in a bin or be relegated to a different shelf. And this will take the main spot. Guaranteed. Look at it. It's Bosk. And good grief. Am I finally to the point where I get to say that's all for this week? It's not. I know I've missed stuff. I guarantee I've missed stuff. But that's what next week's are for. We'll be swinging back around, hopefully. If everything permits. As always, special thanks to the Nobots and the Nobodies, the Patreon, and the channel memberships. I appreciate y'all. You know I love you. It was a very hectic week, and it's weird being at San Diego Comic-Con and not seeing everything. In fact, seeing stuff on social media at the show that you missed, on top of other shows going on overseas and other companies showing stuff in their own ways outside of SDCC. It's craziness. July is insane, but it's awesome. So awesome. This year seemed a lot more laid back than previous years. I don't know if we're finally getting back into the groove of things after a year or two off where we couldn't get together and then the awkwardness of coming back together. But I had so much fun. And not that there's been some years that were rough, a little bit more tiring, I guess, or stressy. But this year, I mean, my flight there was a layover in Vegas. That flight got canceled from Vegas to San Diego. We got put on another plane 6 hours later. And even that, I just wandered around the airport like, hey, I've never seen the Vegas airport before. Not in this much detail, at least. I've been in and out of the Vegas airport, but getting to walk around and look at stuff. I don't like waiting 6 hours, but what am I gonna do? Gripe about it? No! You make lemonade. And that's what it felt like the whole show. I may have not seen everything, but what I did see and the people I got to talk to made it all worth it. Yeah, I love it. Next up is Jolanta, I think. And then I applied for New York Comic Con. I doubt I make it in there because their requirements are crazy. I'm not that big. And then there's Legion's Con, which is a fantastic show. If you have a chance to go to that, then that's the one to go to. It feels very comfortable. Everybody just having a good time. And it's the same with, well, I'm guessing it's the same with Jolanta if it's like Toylanta. I'm guessing it'll be similar. So, yeah. More shows, more toys. More fun. Isn't that what I always end these with? Oh God, here he goes on the fun speech again. Just have some fun. And if you're uptight, lighten up. It's action figures. It's all about the fun. So I'm gonna, hour and 35 minutes. What that cuts down to, I have no clue, but I'm guessing it's way too long. So I'm getting out of here. Bye.